All right, listen, y'all. Before we get into the video, I just wanted to say I wish a speedy recovery to OG Mako. If y'all haven't heard the news, I'll put it here on the screen. He was listening in critical condition. Excuse me. Details soon to be released. But anyways, speedy recover, OG Mako. Let's get into the video. What's going on, y'all boys? It's your boy Apolxgy, and listen, to all my new folks, thank you. I appreciate you. Anyways, we've been doing some numbers recently, so if you're new to the channel, please sound off down in the comment section down below. I appreciate all the love and support that y'all been giving me. It just makes me want to keep grinding even more. So let's go ahead and build this empire together. Now today, we're not gonna be talking about Drake, okay? That last video was my third video. We're done with it. Today, we're gonna be getting back into the Jay-Z controversy. If you haven't seen that video, I'll leave the little tag up above. But look, we're gonna get straight into this video. We're gonna be reacting to Jamari's video today. Let's see what we're gonna get into today, man.
Earlier this week, I told you guys about some very serious allegations being levied against rapper Jay-Z.
We reacted to it.
These claims revolving around the ongoing situation with his longtime friend P. Diddy. The claim was that back in the year 2000, Jay-Z and Diddy took turns violating a 13-year-old girl at a VMAs after party. The girl claimed she was dropped off at Radio City Music Hall by a friend. She says that she tried to get into the VMAs but ultimately failed, and that she then approached Diddy's limo driver.
So apparently he's going to try to deny the allegations here.
Diddy himself, where she claims that she was given a mixed drink that would make her lose control of her body, and this is when she was allegedly taken advantage of. And even when I read the initial court filing, I did have some questions about how valid it really was. Like, I get that it was a different time, but to me, no one in their right mind would leave a kid in New York City unsupervised for hours on end. I also found it curious.
That is exactly what I said. There is no way that they would leave their kid unsupervised for hours on end in New York City.
That she claims that she was under the influence of a substance that made her lose control of her body, but she somehow still had the wherewithal to get a grown man off of her by punching him in the face.
Okay then, so there might be some merit to these stories that, you know, people are just coming out and they're just talking and they don't even, you know?
And that she was able to run out of the room, out of the mansion, and retrace her way on foot back to a gas station.
Exactly.
While presumably still under the influence and in the middle of the night. Also, the whole part where Diddy comes in and allegedly says, "You're ready to party," sounded like something out of a fan fiction more than anything else. And
Straight
now this
movie.
woman has actually come forward with an anonymous interview via NBC, and there is a serious lack of consistency with her story, to say the least.
Oh, Jesus.
And before I roll the clip, I do want to try and remain as sensitive as I can be, because NBC does start this by saying this woman does actually have a mental disorder, as I believe.
Okay. Now listen, I'm not trying to discredit this story at all in any way, shape, or form. By all means, if this did happen, then, you know, my prayers out to this person. But at the end of the day, we do have to take all of these things with a grain of salt until they're proven otherwise. Not that I don't believe it.
Believe they have vetted her background, and this woman has been diagnosed with autism.
You should always advocate for yourself and be a voice for yourself. You should never let what somebody else did ruin or run your life.
A 38-year-old mother from Alabama who has filed a lawsuit accusing Sean Diddy Combs and Jay-Z of raping her when she was 13 years old is speaking out to NBC News for the first time.
So yes, 25 years later, this mother from Alabama is coming forward to speak her alleged piece.
She asked us not to reveal her identity.
What made you want to come forward and talk today?
Because I think that I've been quiet long enough about what I've been through, and it's been hard enough to be quiet, but it's a chapter of my life that I'd like to close.
Okay, listen, before we go any further, I'm not trying to discredit this in any way, but let's be real here. Does this sound like somebody that would be at a Diddy party? I mean, arguably, you can't say we don't know how she looks, and we can't say because she sounds this way, that's the reason why she wasn't there. But like, at the end of the day, they could be using like a voice modifier as well. I mean, I don't know. It just seemed a little crazy to me. It seemed a little fishy, but let's keep listening.
Like I've told you guys in previous videos, ever since Diddy's house was raided and he was actually detained by the authorities, you've had all these different people coming forward making allegations of criminal activity against him. I believe the total was somewhere around 120 at this point. And while I do believe a lot of those claims will be valid and they will see their day in court, I do think what will also come with that is some bad actors acting in bad faith, really just kind of looking for a payday or a settlement. And I do think that
Yeah.
as her story kind of falls apart here in this news segment, you guys will see too that that's most likely what this was.
An NBC News review of her account found inconsistencies with her allegations. She says that she went to the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000 to catch a glimpse of her favorite celebrities.
You weren't scared to be all alone?
No, with having autism is like feeling like you live your life in a shatterproof juggle ball. The world's on fire. The fire is inside the ball with you, but there's no way for you to get out.
And listen, y'all, I know she's probably trying to say something really deep there about, her experience with having autism. But to me, just off the bat, my initial impression of her is that this lady doesn't really speak like she's exactly within her right mind.
The night of the
This ain't making sense.
2000s VMAs, she says a friend drove her from Rochester, New York to Manhattan, a more than 5-hour drive.
I mean, come on, guys. This 5-hour drive, and then you're gonna leave a 13-year-old kid in New York City all by themselves? Like, did it take the dad 5 hours to come drive and pick her up?
Her attorney provided
Facts.
NBC News with the name of the friend who has since died. The woman says she spoke to Combs's limo driver, who offered her a ride to an after party.
I stumbled upon Diddy's.
How did she get in contact with the limo driver? If she is not known, if she's not in the industry, how and who in their right mind as a limo driver is going to let some random person get into a limo to go to this take this underage girl to a Diddy party with all the celebrities with no
who
status?
told me that I was exactly what Diddy was looking for.
What did you think when he said that?
Wait, what Diddy was looking for is so an underage mentally challenged woman is what Diddy's looking for? Bro, not to be mean, but like, bro, I have a soft spot for people like that. And if for some reason you're lying, I'm not saying you are, but if for some reason you're lying, man,
To you.
it's
thought
just
it meant that I
wrong,
was just
bro.
pretty.
And here's where her story really starts to fall apart, as several of the alleged witnesses in this situation all have alibis for that night, and many of them were not even in the same state.
She went to a White House, she says, where she spoke to musicians Benji Madden and his brother.
I'm talking to
Oh my
Benji Madden about his
goodness.
tattoo because, I have about his tattoo that's the Last Supper because I have a religious background. So it was just something to talk about.
And so those guys are actually both members of the band Good Charlotte, and they did actually release a statement saying that they were nowhere near New York on the night of September 7, 2000. And as you can see here by an archive of their tour, they were at the Vic Theater that night in Chicago, Illinois.
God bless this woman's soul, though. I'm not going to lie. God bless her soul. I'm not trying to say in any way, shape, or form that she's wrong, and I'm not making fun of her. There are some people that you come across in life that actually have disabilities or illnesses that cause them to be in a specific state of mind, and it really alters a lot of things for them, and it's scary, but big ups to this woman for coming forward, because if this actually does hold some merit, then I support her wholeheartedly. 100%.
As you guys can see, this website also confirms that information and notes that they were touring with Eve 6 and OPM. And listen, I'm not the best at geography, guys, but Illinois, it's a pretty far away from New York just to go to a Diddy party.
At the after party, she says she had a drink that made her feel woozy. Then she says Combs and Carter took turns raping her while a female celebrity watched.
JC comes in and rapes me. He at that point I was fighting, trying to get away from him, and he put his hand over my mouth and told me to stop it, cut the.
After the alleged rape, she says she ran to a gas station where she called her father, who picked her up and drove her home.
That's what I'm saying.
Her father picked, bro. If this is the case and I go pick up my daughter and she just went through a traumatic experience like that, the first thing I'm doing is going back to that party, and I'm going back to that party, and it's going to be a fucking movie. Swear to you, it's going to be a movie. And on top of that, if this is true and that dad let her an underage daughter with a mental disability roam around New York, go to the VMAs, and then go to a after party filled with celebrities, bro, you deserve to be thrown under the jail. Swear, this is insane to me, and it makes me so mad. I'm not even gonna
did
lie.
This guy have to come from 5 hours away? And don't worry, guys, we won't have to wonder because they do actually get a statement from the dad here in a little bit.
We rode home in silence. He didn't ask me what happened.
Why?
He didn't ask me what I did or where I was.
In an interview with NBC News, her father
Bro.
said he could not verify the claims. Quote, I felt like I would remember that, and I don't. I have a lot going on, but I mean, that's something that would definitely stick in my mind.
And to me at that point, it's like, okay, the case is closed. Her own father is saying he has no recollection of this event at all. So the people at the party she allegedly talked to, it's already been debunked. They weren't even in the same state. And now even her own father is saying, yeah, I don't remember that ever happening. That's like 2 out of the 3 key witnesses. I mean, the only other person would be like a gas station clerk. Oh, and I forgot the friend that dropped her off that conveniently already passed away. I mean, what 13-year-old has some sort of friend that's willing to drive them 5 hours away and drop them off somewhere? Especially one who has a mental condition. I mean, come on, guys.
When we asked the woman about the contradictions in a phone interview on Friday, she said that she stands by her statements. I have made some mistakes, she said. Honestly, what is the clearest is what happened to me. The inconsistencies in her account of an incident alleged to have happened 24 years ago does not necessarily mean the allegations are.
Bro, go get a kit done. If that is what actually happens, and I encourage anybody in this situation, I know it's traumatizing and I can't tell you how it feels. I can't tell you what mental state you would be in, but the safest way to get this situation dealt with properly is to go and get a kit done so you have some proof and merit, so that we can stand on some statements, some business, and some science. I swear. I promise you. I promise you.
The accuser's attorney, Tony Busby, said, because we have interrogated her intensely, she has even agreed to submit to a polygraph. This has been extremely distressing for her, to the point she has experienced seizures and had to seek medical treatment due to the stress.
Oh, man. And I know Tony Busby has been a really successful lawyer working some of the biggest cases, especially out of Houston, over the last couple of decades. With that being said, the guy is obviously an opportunist, and he loves jumping on these high-profile cases, and I think, in this instance, it seems like he just flew a little bit too close to the sun. Like, to me, even just reading the initial court document without these other witnesses coming out and saying that the story is bullshit, I already felt like her claims were really questionable, to say the least. And it was definitely not something that I felt could be, like, substantiated in court.
Is any part of you scared coming out against such powerful people?
I'm scared of what could happen, but I'm more afraid of letting it eat me alive from the inside out than I am of being chastised by their fans.
And Jay-Z and Rock Nation, as well as his attorney, would actually put out a statement after this news piece was released, where he says, today's investigative report proves this attorney, Busby, filed a false complaint against me in pursuit of money and fame. This incident didn't happen, and yet he filed it in court and doubled down in the press. True justice is coming. We fight from victory, not for victory. This was over before it began. This 1-800 lawyer doesn't realize it yet, but soon. And that's apparently a statement directly from Jay-Z himself. And in a statement from his lawyer, they say, it is stunning that a lawyer would not only file such a serious complaint without properly vetting, but would make things worse by further peddling this false story in the press. We're asking the court to dismiss this frivolous case today, and will take up the matter of additional discipline for Mr. Busby and all the lawyers that filed the complaint. And listen, guys.
Also, if you're Jay-Z and you double team this girl with Diddy and you have the Beyonce at home, you a twisted
Jay-Z
dude,
has
bro.
Money, Jay-Z has power.
Crazy.
And that's not just in the entertainment industry. Jay-Z actually holds a lot of political power.
Like, look, just look. Why would you go for a underage woman when you have her at home? What?
Political power. He's been in bed with the NFL, I believe, for close to a decade. And so now I truly do believe that we're going to see a bit of a war between him and this guy, Tony Busby. Like I told you guys before, Tony was the one who represented all those women against Deshaun Watson a couple years ago. So you know the NFL wants to fuck with him too. I mean, Deshaun Watson, he's a disgusting person. And business-wise, that was a horrendous look for the NFL. And so you know if they have the chance to like help Jay-Z stick it to Tony in this situation, they definitely will. So yeah, guys, we're gonna have to wait and see what happens in this situation, but To me, this story does seem quite frivolous at this point. Like, I don't think this accuser has a whole lot of ground to stand on. And I know that there's the saying that the truth does not matter when the lie is more entertaining than the truth itself. But it is—
Look, W video, Jamari. Let's talk, y'all. Look, first of all, let me know what y'all think about this whole situation down in the comment section below. I don't think, if I'm Jay-Z, like, I don't think all of this, like, this doesn't even make sense. Like, off the sheer fact that I have Beyonce at home, there is no reason for me to sit here and like go for this underage woman that I've never seen in my life, that has no status, no money, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how like these kind of artists think. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know, it is what it is. We're just gonna have to see how it comes out in court. If there's further like evidence and things that we can go off of, then hey, look, I'm all for supporting the public. I'm not a Jay-Z stan by any means, but listen, thank you. If you reached the end of the video, please drop a comment down below and let me know. Leave a timestamp, something. Tell me at whatever time this is, hey man, pineapples, shit, something like that. I don't know. But hey, look, I appreciate y'all boys for stopping by. Remember to leave a like on the video down below. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're on the road to 300 already. I just said we're on the road to 150. We already smashed that thanks to you guys. You guys are fucking awesome. Thank you. But without further ado, let me know what else you guys want to see. Until then, please stay safe, stay vibing, and I'm out. Peace, y'all.